Algeria is located in North Africa, bordered by Tunisia to the east, Libya to the southeast, Niger to the south, Mali and Mauritania to the southwest, Western Sahara to the west, and Morocco to the northwest. The Mediterranean Sea lies to the north of the country. It is the largest country in Africa and the 10th largest in the world, with an area of about 2.38 million square kilometers. It is mostly made up of desert and semi-desert landscapes, with the Tel Atlas Mountains running parallel to the Mediterranean coast, and the Sahara Desert covering most of the southern and central regions. The Sahara Desert is home to the Ahaggar Mountains and Tassili N'Ajjer, a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its prehistoric rock art. The country also has a small coastline along the Mediterranean Sea, which is home to several important ports, including the capital city of Algiers. As of 2021, the population of Algeria is estimated to be around 42.9 million people. It is the 10th most populous country in Africa, and the largest country in Africa by area. The population is relatively young, with a median age of around 30 years old. The population growth rate is around 1.5% per year. The majority of the population is concentrated in the coastal regions, particularly in the major cities such as Algiers, Oran, and Constantine. The population is also concentrated in the Tel Atlas mountain range, where the major agricultural areas are located. The Sahara Desert, which covers most of the southern and central regions of the country, is sparsely populated. The history of Algeria is marked by the interactions and conflicts between various indigenous tribes and various foreign powers, including the Phoenicians, Romans, Vandals, Byzantine Empire, Arab invaders, Ottoman Empire, and French colonizers. The Berbers, who make up the majority of Algeria's indigenous population, have lived in the region for thousands of years. They resisted the Arab invasions in the 7th and 8th centuries, but eventually converted to Islam. In the 16th century, the Ottoman Empire conquered Algeria and ruled for 3 centuries, during which time the Berbers maintained a certain degree of autonomy. In 1830, France invaded and colonized Algeria, which it ruled as a department of France for the next 130 years. The French government implemented policies aimed at assimilating the Algerian population, including the forced settlement of European settlers, known as colons, and the suppression of Berber culture. During this time, Algerian resistance against French rule took various forms, including guerrilla warfare, urban bombings, and political organizing. In 1954, the National Liberation Front, FLN, launched a war of independence, which lasted for 8 years and resulted in the death of an estimated 1.5 million Algerians. In 1962, France granted Algeria independence, and the FLN, led by Ahmed Ben Bella, became the country's dominant political party. Under Ben Bella's leadership, Algeria adopted a socialist economic system and maintained close ties with the Soviet Union. However, in 1965, Ben Bella was overthrown in a military coup led by Houari Boumediene, who established a one-party socialist state and pursued a policy of industrialization and modernization. In the 1980s and 1990s, Algeria experienced a period of political and economic turmoil, marked by a rise in Islamic extremism and a brutal civil war between the government and Islamist rebel groups. An estimated 200,000 people were killed in the violence. In 1999, Abdelaziz Bouteflika was elected president, and he implemented a number of economic and political reforms aimed at stabilizing the country and ending the civil war. Bouteflika served as president until 2019, when he was forced to resign amid mass protests against his rule. The current president is Abdelmajid Tebboune. Despite the challenges of the past century, Algeria has made significant progress in areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. However, the country continues to face a number of economic and political challenges, including high unemployment, poverty, and corruption. The flag of Algeria consists of 2 equal vertical bands of green and white with a red, 5-pointed star within a red crescent centered over the 2-color boundary. The crescent, star, and color green are traditional symbols of Islam. which is the dominant religion in the country. The color white represents peace, and the color red represents the bloodshed for independence from France. The design of the flag was adopted on July 3, 1962, the day of Algeria's independence. The population of Algeria is a diverse mix of different ethnic and linguistic groups. The majority of the population is of Berber origin, and they make up around 30 to 40% of the population. The Berbers have lived in the region for thousands of years and have a rich culture and history. They speak a variety of Berber languages, including Tamazight, Tachelhit and Kabyle. The Arab population, which makes up around 60 to 70% of the population, is primarily of Arab descent. They speak Arabic and are primarily Muslim, with a small minority of Christians and Jews. There is also a small minority of French, Spanish, and Italian expatriates, as well as a small population of sub-Saharan African migrants. Algeria is a secular state, and the constitution provides for freedom of religion. However, the majority of the population is Muslim and the country's laws and customs are strongly influenced by Islamic tradition. The population of Algeria is relatively young, with around half of the population under the age of 30. The official language is Arabic, and French is also widely spoken and understood, particularly in business and government. The traditional culture of Algeria is heavily influenced by the Berber and Arab heritage of the majority of the population. This includes a strong emphasis on family and community, as well as a rich history of art, music, and storytelling. One of the most iconic traditional customs in Algeria is the fantasia, a ceremonial horseback riding event that is often performed at weddings and other celebrations. The fantasia is characterized by the riders galloping at high speeds while firing rifles into the air. Another traditional custom is the henna night, a pre-wedding ritual in which the bride's hands and feet are decorated with intricate henna designs. Algerian cuisine is a blend of Berber, Arab, and Mediterranean influences, and it is known for its rich, flavorful dishes. Some of the most popular traditional dishes include couscous. A staple of Algerian cuisine, couscous is a type of semolina wheat that is typically served with meat or vegetables. Tagine. A type of stew that is cooked in a special clay pot and typically contains meat or fish, vegetables, and spices. Méchoui. A whole roasted lamb or goat that is often served at special occasions such as weddings or Eid celebrations. Harira. A thick soup made of lentils, tomatoes, and chickpeas that is traditionally served during the month of Ramadan. Brique. A deep-fried pastry that is filled with tuna, egg, and onion. Algerian cuisine also feature a wide variety of fresh fruits and vegetables, breads and pastries, olives, and cheeses. They also consume a variety of seafood, including fish and shellfish, and it is quite common to find a variety of seafood dishes in coastal regions. Algeria is also famous for its wide variety of sweets and desserts, including pastries, cakes, and candied fruits.